Welcome to the Once Upon a Sunday Fantasy Football Podcast with your hosts, Josh Kimmel, Dave Campbell, and Justin Bowerly.
Welcome to Once Upon a Sunday Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm your host, Josh. With me, Viking Dave. JJ is him. What is up? No Justin Bowerly today, by the way, guys. None. No Justin. He's out of the country.
He's chilling on an island somewhere.
Some beach, somewhere. You know what song I haven't heard in a long time, but I thought about when I was in the dentist chair? I haven't told this audience yet, but I did get dental work done, and it was miserable. That's why the last time you saw me, it was the worst show of all time because I couldn't really talk. But I was thinking of that song, Some Beach, Somewhere. Yeah. Remember he goes, before I put the Novocaine. You know what I'm talking about? But I don't know if I told the story here on air, but when the dentist came in, the anesthesiologist already had the IV in me, and she's like, okay, now when the doctor comes in, you're going to say hi, and you're going to go to sleep. And I'm like, okay, sure, pal. Sure, lady. I'm sure it's going to take a little bit. The doctor goes, hey, Josh, how you doing? Next thing you know, I woke up. After that. Next thing I'm in Jan's sports car, and I'm driving home. So she was right.
Well, that's good.
In my veins. But, yeah. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. At Josh Kimmel OUS, at Viking David, and at Justin Bowerly. Make sure you follow the YouTube page at Finn's Talk Sports Network, our network, of course. And if you're an audio listener, like I know most of you are, go to our YouTube page and subscribe. We're over 1,000 subscribers, and we're here every single Wednesday night and Tuesday afternoon. So, Dave, let's get right into it. We have some starts and sits of the week that you don't know about.
I have no idea what we're doing. I'm just here for commentary.
You're just here to have fun?
I guess so. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Yes. So we do have some starts and sits. We do have no news. I'm just going to skip that. This can be a simple show, short and sweet, to the point. But Dave, I do want to ask you a question. With Justin Jefferson being out for 4 weeks, and we were talking about this pre-show. We were talking about this just a little bit. Do you think he's still going to end up finishing top 12 at his position, even if he misses 4 weeks? If it's only 4 weeks?
If it's only 4 weeks, oh man, he is that good. That's borderline. I don't know what I think he's 4th or 5th right now. That's tough, man.
I can tell you right now, he is 6th right now in PPR
6th,
scoring.
Okay.
With 109.1.
So who's 12?
That's going to. Great question, David. Great question. So 12 is Hollywood Brown with 75.9.
So what's his face is like 35-ish points ahead of him?
Yes.
Just Jefferson? Yeah, probably not.
So then we have Nico Collins at 11. Adam Thielen at 10. I feel like Adam Thielen and these guys are going to drop off.
Some of the guys will probably drop off. Somebody else might step up. I don't know.
Like Puka Nacua, he's definitely going to drop off. I mean, he's still going to produce, but 23.1 points per game, it's not going to happen. DJ Moore, 22 points a game, that's not going to happen. But it's just a good thing. It's a good thing.
He's still a superstar, so.
Of course.
It sucks that he's hurt. I don't know. I'll be honest. I've heard yesterday we were talking about I would go trade for him, and I still would, but I'm a little bit more cautious because I've heard it's not a slight strain. I heard it could be 4 to 6 weeks kind of minimum. And then obviously depending on how bad the Vikings are at the time, I don't know. It sucks. I'm sure he's going to come back at some point. I'm sure he's going to try to get at least to 1,000 yards. I think he's got close to 600 or somewhere around the area. So I know he's going to want to play. He's a competitor, but they're not going to rush him back. They have no reason to. And that sucks. I mean, he's the only reason why I watch the Vikings right now. And it sucks. So, it just it sucks.
So we have OD. What's going on? Hey, what's up, Pamela? What's up, OD? We have a 2 and 3 struggling. Was it Ode? OD or Ode? Who knows? I'm terrible at names, guys. Terrible. I couldn't pronounce the name Rebecca today at work. So 2 and 3 struggling with injuries. Would you trade Tyreek and James Cook for T, Kelsey, and Ken Walker? Put that back up there.
I can't say that. I can't say yes to that. Tyreek is a game changer. James Cook is really good. I would take Tyreek for T and Kelsey, and then Ken Walker and James Cook are pretty close. Walker's been good, but so is Cook. So I'd probably say no, even though I really like Kelsey.
The problem with that is, and I was looking at Kelsey's points per game before. He's number one. He's already the tight end one at points per game. So him being a bust, that's already over. He's gonna take over instantly.
Laporta it depends on who this guy's tight end is. Also, I mean, I get it.
It's tough, but here's what you're talking about. Tyreek is a game changer, as he could put up 40 points anytime, any day. He's already put up 3 games over 30 points in PPR scoring. He put up 30.7 in week 3, 32.1 in week 5, and 44.5 in week 1. His worst game was 10.2. That's not great. I mean, we can all admit that's not great, but he is also putting up. No one else is putting up more 30-point games than Tyreek Hill right now, so he can win you weeks without anyone else. So yes,
yeah, he's been a beast.
I would keep the Tyreek. But Dave, let's get right into it, man. I'm sure we're gonna have questions throughout the night, so get them on in. All you audio listeners, come on over to the YouTube page and join the conversation. My start of the week at quarterback, and I'm curious on what you think, is Matthew Stafford against Arizona. I believe Arizona's garbage. They actually give up 23.2 points per game to the quarterback position. The average passing rating of a quarterback that plays Arizona is 100.5. This seems like a get-right game for this team. Not an easy win because Arizona's not as bad as we thought. But you got Kupp back. Kupp scored 19 points his first game. Puka's still there. This offense should be humming. What do you think, Dave? Would you start him? I'm not going to say, like, of course you would start Stafford, but would you start Stafford over for example, Dak Prescott?
I don't know who Dallas plays, but probably. Dak's not been good. And Stafford's been good already. So, yeah, I like that matchup. Now he's got Kupp back. They looked good last week. I got no problem with that. I love Stafford. I've always thought he was good.
Okay, here's a tough one. Justin Herbert, he's playing Dallas. So Dallas is playing the same Los Angeles Chargers.
I'm not benching Herbert. I'm just not. He's the number 1 QB, isn't he? He's in QB1 or before the bye. I think he was.
No, I'm not. He's on the quarterback one.
I thought he was QB1.
He's not QB1. Josh Allen's QB1.
I said before the bye week when he just didn't play.
Oh. Well, okay. If you go points per game, guess who still has more points per game? Josh Allen.
Okay. Well, how is that possible if Herbert was QB1 last week?
Because Josh Allen,
you're adding an extra game. That's what I'm saying. I'm not benching the guy that was QB1 before his bye week. I'm not going to penalize him because now he's QB2. No, I'm not benching Justin Herbert for nobody. I'm sorry, I'm not.
The problem is he is playing Dallas, and Dallas is a menace.
I don't care.
They're a menace to quarterbacks. They really are.
I don't care.
Brock Purdy
had 4 TDs.
Thank you for saying that. Purdy is the only person that finally scored anything on Dallas. Dallas was averaging 10 points per fantasy quarterbacks per game before Brock Purdy. They were shutting people down. Now did play Josh Dobbs. They did play Daniel Jones. They played a bunch of bums. I get that.
Well, no wonder.
I get it. But the thing is, your boy Herbert has a fractured finger on his non-throwing hand. That's going to affect him no matter what.
I'm going to ask you this question. Are you benching Herbert? No, thank you.
I don't have Herbert.
Okay.
I don't
Next
have
question.
Herbert. Okay.
Don't ask me dumb questions.
Okay, I would not bench Justin Herbert for Matthew Stafford, but I would think about it if I needed a safe floor.
No, you didn't. No, you wouldn't.
What if this guy fumbles? He can't handle a snap. They get to him. I mean, look.
Okay, I'm going to risk it on a bunch of what ifs, maybes. The guy that's the QB1. No, I'm good. I'm starting.
He's on the QB1.
I'm starting Herbert every week if I got him on my roster, and I traded him last 2 weeks ago. And I'm pissed that I did.
Well, I started it there. What about Justin Fields?
He's playing the Vikings. He'll probably
I know he's playing the Vikings.
I'm starting Justin Fields over Matthew Stafford. Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm just saying Matthew Stafford is going to have a great game. He is the quarterback 18 right now.
I like him.
He's probably on your waivers. He's available. That's why I picked him, because if you have a top guy like a Herbert or Fields or Josh Allen, you're going to start those guys. But we're talking about the guys who lost Anthony Richardson. Maybe you have a bye week. You're struggling out there. For sure. If you have Jordan Love, right? You rode with Jordan Love. Time to get rid of that.
If you have Deshaun Watson, because he's a pussy and apparently he can't play anymore. So that's the guy I traded freaking Herbert for.
There you go. Bitch. If you have Deshaun Watson, and I'll allow that. We are a family-friendly show, but I'll allow that for him because he is a dirtbag. So you can say that about Deshaun Watson. My sit of the week, and Justin's going to crush me because I don't have these overlays ready. It is what it is, people. This is what you get. I'm not a producer.
Sorry.
Desmond Ridder. I'm sitting him against Washington. I know it's a juicy matchup. I understand that he just went off and he just threw a bajillion yards and had his career high and everything. But they're playing Washington, and they're not going to have to score a ton of points to beat this team. Washington was just destroyed by Justin Fields. What does Atlanta want to do? They want to run the ball with Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier. They don't want to throw the ball. Last week they had to. That's why Desmond Ridder had such a phenomenal game. You're going to start Desmond Ridder off of that amazing game where he had like 20 majillion points, and then he's going to score 8 because he's going to throw the ball 11 times. That's what's going to happen. So I'm not okay starting Desmond Ridder this week. And I know a lot of people are going to chase those points.
Well, that's dumb because Ritter hasn't been good all year. And just because he has one good game, you're not supposed to. You're not chasing points. That's stupid.
But
so I
people
agree. Bench him.
Dude,
I know. I get it.
You know who chases points? You know who chases points?
Lots of people do.
Our buddy Jerry, he's over here texting me, hey, who should I trade Dalton? Should I trade Romeo Doubs for Dalton Schultz? What? Just because Schultz had
yes.
one?
I told him yes.
No.
He's got first of all, you got to look at his team. He's never going to start Dobbs barely, and he needs a tight end. So yeah, I don't. Nobody's trading tight ends. Nobody's trading a good tight end.
This guy over here, OD, he said he's going to trade for Kelsey.
Well, I mean, that's he's giving up Tyreek too. He's not giving up freaking Dobbs or whatever his name is.
The bottom line, Desmond Ridder has had 2 games over 20 points, which is pretty good for him. 3 games under 8 points for fantasy this year. That's not a guy I want to start on my fantasy football team. So easy bench for me, even though they are playing Washington, one of the worst defenses in the NFL. That just means start Algier and I would start Algier this week and Bijan. Would you?
I mean, with all the injuries, it's not the worst if you have to start Algier.
Dave, do you have a running back that you'd like to talk about that you want to start? Because I have one, and I'm curious because this guy, we hate this guy, but Isaiah Pacheco, I'm starting him against Denver Thursday night. He's my start of the week. This guy has been a banger, and he's been underrated. And I kind of wish I didn't trade him in our dynasty league, but I did get Keenan Allen, so I'm okay with it.
First of all, you got to start over because I don't know who you said you broke up.
Oh, I broke up. Hey, yeah. I said Isaiah Pacheco.
Okay.
I said Isaiah Pacheco again.
So he's your start of the week?
He really is, yes.
I mean, I can't argue with that. It's hard for me to say anybody is a starter or sit with running backs because the guys are starting. I had to start Gus Edwards in the league last week. It's so bad out there that if you got Pacheco, you're starting him. I'm sorry. And if he's on your bench, that means you have a plethora of running backs and you should trade one. Because you can probably get freaking arm and a leg for somebody. So yeah, I mean he's been playing pretty decent. Kansas City's, rolling, of course, and it's pretty much him and Kelsey on that offense is the only ones you can count on right now.
Yeah, Pacheco gets all the red zone carries for sure. In week 4 against the Jets, he had 4. Then he had 6 against Chicago, 3 against Jacksonville. You really want those red zone, especially on a team like that who wants to score the ball. And unfortunately, they do get down to the 1, and I'm like, all right, pass it to Kelsey, baby. But no, they just run it with Pacheco, so it's kind of annoying. But he has been hot and cold, Pam. I know that. But I will say this about Pacheco. He was a running back 6 overall in week 4, 12 overall in week 3, and last week he scored 13.4 with no touchdowns. So when he scores a touchdown, he's very good. Unfortunately, last week he did not. That's for every running back. But he got 16 carries last week. 16 carries against Minnesota. It sucks he didn't get a touchdown, but he's also commanding targets. He gets 3 targets a game. I mean, you can't complain on that, Dave.
No, he's been, like I said, he's been decent. Like I said, with the running back position, Pacheco's a guy that you easily start every week just because
and they're
not out there
using McKinnon. I don't understand what they're doing. I thought McKinnon was supposed to be this guy that we got late who's supposed to be something special, but he hasn't been. Pacheco is 2 catches away from his career high. Just want to let everyone know that. 2 catches away from his career high.
Pretty good.
The next guy that we're sitting, Dave, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Mr. 4th round, the guy you drafted everywhere in the 4th round to trick our friends, Rachaad White. I'm sitting Rachaad White this week. He's playing Detroit. First thoughts?
No. I'd start him.
Start him. Well, of course. Listen, we just said we're starting all of our running backs because of the injuries, but don't be that guy who doesn't understand the whole sit situation. Sitting means temper your expectations. Don't expect a lot from this guy. Rachaad White, I feel like they're going to be down in this game. Detroit's going to roll Tampa Bay.
I don't know about that.
Oh, you really don't?
Detroit, I mean, the Bucs defense is playing well. They played everybody good. Like they're playing good, but I hate to admit it, they are. Their defense is playing really good. Baker's slinging it. Like I still don't think that they're like a contender, but they're gonna contend for that division, and they're playing overall well. I think Detroit wins the game, but I think that it's gonna be a little bit closer than you think because the Bucs defense is just playing pretty good right now. But Goff and them guys are hot too, so I
Well,
can see it. I don't know.
I'm just afraid they're going to get away from him because he is running for a shitty 3.3 yards per carry. He can't break a tackle. I mean, every time he gets touched, he falls down. There's no yards after contact with him. He doesn't get the targets. He only has 13 targets on the season. Like you said, Baker slings it. Baker's not checking it down. He's not check down Baker, right?
When I woke up this morning, I was feeling pretty dangerous.
So he's just airing it out. That's what Baker does. He's not checking it down. That's what you really needed for Rachaad White to be successful this year. Fantasy points per touch, 0.61. That's 51st out of all running backs. 51st fantasy points per touch. He just hasn't been good. He
hasn't been nearly as good as I thought he would be. He's been decent. I expected more. I think it's because of those catches. I think that's what we all, we know Brady is smart enough to dump it off when he needed to. And I think didn't Rachaad White and Fournette had like a ton of catches last year. So obviously that's not happening this year. So that's, I think, the difference. If he can go back to getting some catches, he'd be great because like you said, he's been good to decent. He hasn't been great. I expect a little bit better. So we'll see.
Do I start Stroud?
Oh man.
Or go Lawrence?
You said go get Lawrence. If Lawrence is on your waiver wire, you should pick him up right now.
Hold on. On Twitter today, I thought I was either high or on my pain pills because I saw a poll in Dynasty. Who would you rather have, Stroud or Lawrence? And there was 147 votes on this poll. Stroud was winning 59%.
Damn, that's crazy to me.
That is crazy to me. It's not, and it was.
I will admit, I'm so mad that I passed on Stroud in all those dynasty leagues at like the 5-6 area because I passed on him. I traded down. I did not want nothing to do with him, and he's been awesome. So I definitely missed on that one.
I definitely capitalized on that in some leagues, not all, but some leagues where I was in that, I'm like, he's a quarterback. Like I'm not doing the
Gotta take him. Yeah, I know.
So I just took him and I got lucky. I'm not saying like I thought this guy was special, but I kind of lucked into a lot of CJ Stroud shares, and I'm happy for it. Trevor Lawrence, though, in Dynasty, I'm taking Lawrence all day. Stroud, though, he's
been so good.
He's been so good. Lawrence is 16th. I put out a tweet earlier today where Matthew Stafford, Trevor Lawrence, and Desmond Ridder are all bunched up together in the 17th, 18th, and 16th rank. They're very low. Lawrence is not having a great fantasy season right now.
No, it's annoying to me.
But
I expected him to be a lot better. I got him in a lot of leagues.
But let's be real here. Lawrence did play in London 2 weeks in a row, back to back, and we know those games aren't high scoring. We know there's something wrong with the turf or field over there in Wembley Stadium. Like those games are just a snooze fest. So maybe when they get back over the States, they get back to wherever they play in Jacksonville, Duval, maybe he gets back on track. If Stroud's free, why not roster both and just play the matchups? That's what I would do. That's what I would try to do. But you said go get Stroud, so I'm assuming
he said go get Lawrence.
Oh, go get Lawrence. I'm
assuming. So if you can get
go.
Lawrence, I would get him. Obviously, if he's free on the waiver wire, yes. But this week, I don't know who they both play. I like Stroud, man. He's been hot. I kind of want to ride the hot hand, but I'm not sure who the Jaguars play either.
Jacksonville plays Indianapolis at home, but they're coming off of that, coming home from London, which I never liked that. And then Houston plays someone ungood, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's a winnable game.
I'm rolling with Lawrence only because of the pedigree and because I believe in that offense more. I believe in Peterson more. I believe in Christian Kirk and the weapons around him, Evan Ingram. But I also, what's going on, Raphael? I also do love CJ Stroud. It's just to me, I would love to have both, but you can't. That's so.
He might be able to have both.
T or Ridley rest of season. I'm going Ridley, and I'll tell you why. I'll put this up here. T Higgins or Ridley rest of season. I am a good athlete, like I said on yesterday's show. I have bruised my ribs before. It is hard to live. It's hard to live. And T Higgins is a great athlete, and he broke or bruised his ribs, and he has to go ahead and extend to catch balls for the next X amount of weeks. I don't want that. One hit if he extends the ball, if Burrow leads him like this and he extends and he gets hit in that rib again, he might be out for the season. I don't want that. I'm not playing with ribs. The only ribs I want in my life are baby back ribs, short ribs, not T. Higgins ribs. So give me Calvin Ridley, even though I do like T. Higgins better as a player.
I agree though. I'd take Ridley.
Yeah, I got a lot of questions. Let's throw this one up here. I haven't read it yet. Should I trade Ridley for Breece Hall and Deontay Johnson? My running backs are Miles Sanders, Gibbs.
Yes.
My receivers are A.J. Brown, Olave, Tank Dell, and Gabriel Davis.
I like it.
I like it too. So you're going to get Breece and Deontay. Yeah.
I love that trade.
Because Miles Sanders ain't doing nothing. He's not doing jack squiddly.
He started decent. He's just went downhill the last 2 weeks.
And Gibbs, we expected this explosion. We saw him week 1 against Kansas City. And we're like, oh, remember that one play where he went to the right and he cut and everyone's like, whoa.
Yeah, everyone was like blowing him the next day on Twitter.
and then Dan Campbell's like,
nah, we're good.
He goes, Dan Campbell goes, oh shit, people like him? The fuck on my bench. Because we're putting David Montgomery on there, baby. Just like last year, man. That's what he does. He wants solid.
Detroit,
awesome
what do you expect? You don't ever expect him to do anything smart, so.
Yeah, I would definitely make that trade for Breece. And Breece looks good. But they did play Denver. Anything else? Single quarterback. No more questions. Up. Yeah. Any more questions? Just throw them in there. Hypotheticals, whatever you want to do. We're here for fun. What else? Oh, Rachaad White. We're moving on. My starts of the week for receiver. This is going to be a Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk debate. I feel like incoming, but I'm picking Christian Kirk over Calvin Ridley against Indianapolis to start. I would prefer to start Christian Kirk if I could. Calvin Ridley is going to have a huge game, probably a big game, but they're going to have the better cornerback on Ridley. We already know Indianapolis plays a ton of zone defense, and Christian Kirk destroys zone defense. When it's man-to-man, I'd prefer Ridley. We saw that in London. They couldn't even cover Ridley at all. But like I said, Colts play number 1 a defensive zone, and Christian Kirk will sit in that zone all day. And we know Christian Kirk and Trevor Lawrence are like BFFs. They're like the Wish version, the Temu version of Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford, right? Have you ever ordered on Temu?
I have not, but I know people who have, so.
My daughter has, and she loves it. She's like, I got so much stuff for free. I'm like, I don't even know what I did.
Or whatever. I don't know how it's possible to order all this stuff. That should be like.
She made me sign up. She goes, free. If you sign up,
you get like free money or something.
So I get emails nonstop from Temu. Oh, congratulations, you won. I'm like,
yeah.
Was it worth your box? Because I get emails nonstop. That's why.
Yeah, I get Aubrey made me sign up for it too.
It's the worst. Anyway, Christian Kirk for me is the person I would feel more confident starting. Would you start Ridley this week over if you had to choose, gun to head, whatever you want to say, Christian Kirk, Calvin Ridley?
I think it's close. Probably Ridley by a hair. But I mean, you're flipping a coin here. I feel like Ridley, I don't know. Ridley's had 2 good games and 2 bad games. So, or actually, was it 2 or 3?
He had the opening game.
I know he balled the week 1, and he didn't do much since then.
No, but he had a really good game last week.
So Kirk's been pretty solid overall. I feel like if you want to go for the upside, I'd probably take Ridley. You want like a solid game, I'd probably take Kirk.
So Christian Kirk right now is 11th in targets with 43. He's getting 27% or 23.9% of the target share in Jacksonville right now. Like I said, he is the guy. But the only problem is he doesn't get red zone targets. He doesn't get deep targets. But that's what I was telling you guys in the offseason. Trevor Lawrence loves to check it down. He loves to throw it to the slants. He loves throwing it to the flats. He loves just finding that little 8-yard, 7-yard route, and then boom, you see it with Zay Jones. You see it with Christian Kirk. You see it with Travis Etienne. And then all of a sudden, once in a while, he goes deep to Calvin Ridley, and that's a big play. That's why I really like Christian Kirk in this situation. Win rate versus man, he destroys. He's 7th in the league. He's number 1 in separation right now. So Christian Kirk, that's my dude. That's my ride or die. Oh, we got some questions in the Temu. Oh, Pamela loves Temu. Pamela,
can we get sponsored by Temu? The OUS Temu chat.
What did you get from Temu, Pam? Because I need to know.
What's up, Pamela? Give us some questions, guys.
Ooh, Hunter, like Nico Collins, Pittman, Addison, Amari Cooper. My wide receiver is Tyreek.
Start 2? Oh, yep. Dude. I'm starting Addison now with Jefferson out, probably Nico Collins because especially with Watson's out, I don't want to start Cooper, and Pittman's hit or miss. So yeah, I'm with Nico Collins and Addison.
Yeah, I'm going to go the same thing. Addison because of JJ being out, and Nico Collins because he is a wide receiver 12, right, 11 right now, like we just spoke about earlier, and he's getting all the targets from CJ Stroud. Pittman is hit or miss, but Gardner Minshew is in the game, and he's going to start. And I felt bad when Gardner stepped in for your boy Anthony Richardson because they had all these game plans for him to scramble and roll out and a playbook basically for Richardson. And Gardner had to go in there and try to run that offense. Now they have a full week. Let's run it for Gardner Minshew. Maybe they step back, drops 3-step dropbacks, throw it out to Pittman quick, but still Nico Collins for the win. What else we got going on here? Addison Ridley or Devontae Smith, bench one.
I'm benching Ridley.
Yeah, over Addison though.
I think Addison might. He's going to be the new JJ. Who's going to catch the ball? KJ can't catch. We talked about it yesterday.
Hawk
dropping
Daddy,
half,
baby.
Yeah, and Hawk's dropping half of his targets lately. So I just feel like, I mean, you want to go safe? Yeah, go Ridley. I feel like Addison has the same upside and probably more. I don't say more, but the same. With a better floor.
Josh Wingate is a piece of. I won't say it, but yes, you can fix my box to fit. This is all Justin, buddy. I don't know. He does it better than me. I'm the producer, and I have no idea what's happening. Josh, leave us alone.
I don't know what he's talking about. So,
what else we got here? Oh, we got one more from Will. What's going on, Will? Kamara for James Cook, Ayuk, and Zay Flowers, or Kamara for Ridley, Aaron Jones, and Christian Watson. So you're trying to get rid of Kamara. You're trying to sell high. That's a lot.
You can get James Cook, Ayuk, and Flowers. I don't hate that. I like that more than Ridley, Aaron Jones, and Christian Watson, I think.
So if you go one more, so Christian Watson versus Zay Flowers.
I mean, if Aaron Jones was healthy and we could see what he was doing, maybe, but I don't know. The thing. I don't know.
So if you just break it down, I like Zay Flowers more than I like Christian Watson. Watson is more of a big play guy, but Jordan Love's kind of unknown. I feel like Zay Flowers
has been. He's been week one. He has not done much since then.
He's getting volume, which I do like. He's getting targets, but he's not getting deep targets. So that's kind of scary.
I like Ayuk a lot, but with that offense, he's either having a really, really good game or like he's irrelevant. That's what sucks. But Ridley's been the same way, and Watson too. I like James Cook the best out of all those players, and I think I like Ayuk second. So I'd probably take those two. I mean, I take that back. I take Ridley over Ayuk, but yeah, I'd take the Zay Flowers side.
I go the Zay Flowers side, for sure. Just because of James Cook, I didn't think James Cook was going to be this good this year. I didn't think
he's awesome.
You know me. I'm like, oh, Buffalo, Josh Allen's the running back there. They're not going to usually because they didn't utilize Devin Singletary. They didn't utilize anyone.
If last year, if you had Singletary, and I did, and I honestly I drafted him just to trade him to our buddy Adam, and I he wouldn't go for it, so I ended up having to start him. He was really solid. If they do what they're doing now and actually use the running back in the passing game and let them get the majority of the touches, that's a high-powered offense. That's what you want, and they're using them in the right way this year. Do I trade Justin Jefferson in 5? If you're 5-0, you do not trade Justin Jefferson.
You do not trade Justin Jefferson. I'm 5-0 in our league, where the person who said, "Hey, it's a keeper league. Hey, I have Justin Jefferson. If you're 5-0 or 4-1, or you can win now, come get him. I'll take whatever." I'm looking. I don't know what I can trade for Justin Jefferson. That's my problem. If you're 5-0 and you're Justin,
because you're gonna want a lot.
And what are you gonna get for Justin Jefferson when you're 5-0? What are you gonna get? That's my problem. Or what am I going to trade for Justin Jefferson? Because people are going to want the world, which they should. He's the best player in fantasy.
Do you want to know what he offered me for Justin Jefferson? Well, I have. Well,
thanks, Jefferson. Josh. He wants Chase.
He wanted Chase.
I know.
I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. So I countered, and I was like, I'll trade you DK. That's fair. And he said no, which is fine. But like, you're not going to get Jamar Chase. Like, what am I doing?
Another question, Witsy in the chat. Breece Hall, Brian Robinson, or Zach Moss? Start one. Breece, because he is your stud. I could definitely see Brian Robinson having a good game. For sure. They are playing.
We saw Zach Moss last week, but I'm not expecting that again.
Well, they all play at them. So hold on. Washington gets Atlanta. Atlanta has a really good run defense. Not too great, but pretty good. So I don't want to touch him there. And plus, he's not getting targets. Zach Moss. Is Jonathan Taylor going to eat in? Like he
I know, that's
started
what I'm
slow,
wondering.
started
That's
slow,
what we're
started
waiting
slow.
for.
But Brees Hall, it seems like he's a full go. There are no more training wheels. They took it off last week, and I feel like it's going to continue.
Yeah, I agree.
How many more we got in here? Oh, Pamela said she start Robinson. Look, Robinson's a good start, but
He's
Brees,
decent. He's just blah. Yeah, I feel like Brees has that baller potential, and Brian Robinson's just nah.
All right.
He's fine.
Now that we got all the questions out of the way, I'll go to my sit of the week at receiver, and then we'll go through these real quick and get on out of here. So Zay Flowers, I'm actually sitting him. Ironic, I just talked him up, but I'm sitting him. Don't laugh. Why are you laughing?
Because exactly that. You just talked about him.
Well, I like Zay Flowers. Like, I think he's a great player. And you know what's funny is we were on this podcast about 3 months ago with G. Remember him? And he's like, Zay Flowers is going to be so good. And we discounted it and he's trash. And yeah. And all of a sudden, I'm a believer now. But this week against Tennessee, I'm not a believer. Tennessee's really, really good against the pass. Lamar Jackson looked confused last week. Lamar Jackson will look confused against Tennessee. This is one of those ugly games where Tennessee is going to force them to only score 13 to 17 points and somehow get an ugly win. They're going to win off of Justice Hill and Gus Edwards and Kenyon Drake, the worst running back room of the history of the world. And Zay Flowers isn't going to get any deep balls. He's not going to get any red zone targets. He's just going to be a guy who gets 4 catches for 40 yards, and you're going to not be happy. So I would definitely start or sit Zay Flowers this week if I could. Let's just finish up with tight ends. Cole Kmet versus Minnesota. Dave, did you know Cole Kmet? Did you know Cole Kmet is like the tight end 3 right now?
Because he had 2 huge games.
Doesn't matter.
But that's the tight end position. So, I mean, yeah, Chicago has no one else to throw to besides DJ Moore. And he's catching the ball right now. So.
He's actually the tight end 4 right now. And he had 2 good games in a row, 27.6 and 15.2. Yes, those will boost you up. But but hey, that goes with the offense though. When your offense is humming, you get it to your playmakers, and Kmet's a playmaker for that offense. So definitely want to start him against Minnesota. Minnesota seems like a defeated team. And I'm not just saying this because you're here, but they just seem defeated, don't they? Like they just kind of want to quit.
No, I feel like they're competitive every week. They are competitive. They can't get over the hump. No. I mean, so like they're trying. I can see it. They're just one mistake after another in like crucial situations. It's every single week. So
fumbles
are. It's got to be an NFL record. I know it's an NFL record for the first however many games. It's ridiculous. It's crazy.
So your team sets the NFL record for the most fumbles. Our team, Finstock Sports Network, most yardage, I think, in the first 5 weeks. Yeah, mission's accomplished.
You saw Mike McDaniel. I love that guy.
He's the best. Isn't like, I'll tell you what, this is not fantasy. This is just real life. You know me, Dave. I haven't been a hardcore Dolphins fan. Like I just been checked out, whatever. Like if they win, they win. They lose, they lose. Yeah. This guy is making me fall in love with the team again. Him,
because he's awesome.
Because he's just such a.
I love him.
Yes, he's just the coolest.
See, I like. We need more coaches like that. Like I like Kevin O'Connell. He's not as cool as McDaniel. I agree completely.
No one's as cool.
I agree completely. I love that guy. He's hilarious. He's taking chances. Like they're throwing the ball around. I love it. I really like. I'm becoming a Dolphins fan just because they're fun to watch.
Rate my 20-man PPR team.
Jesus, that's really good for 20 teams.
Russell Wilson, Jonathan Taylor, Aaron Jones, Tyreek Hill, Christian Kirk, Kmet, and Downs. Yeah, I would say
that seems really good.
It's hard to rate. Like, I'm not gonna if Brad Pitt walks in the room, he's an attractive guy, and you're like, hey, rate Brad Pitt. How am I gonna
10?
Well, how am I gonna rate him against other? I don't know if I've never seen another guy in my life. How am I gonna rate him? I need to know the other teams.
But listen, I don't care about the other teams. That could be a good 12-team team.
But you gotta look at it. Russell Wilson's been awesome. JT hasn't played, and when he did play last week, he scored nothing. Aaron Jones hasn't played since like week 1.
Yeah, he's probably not doing well.
He's probably not doing well.
Balling. Kirk's been decent. Kmet's good.
But it's a 20-team league. So
listen, that's what I'm saying. With 20 teams, that seems like it's pretty good. That's just what I mean. Without seeing the rest of the teams, I feel like that's a solid team.
I say you have much potential when everyone gets healthy and everyone's
once JT and Aaron Jones come back. I like it a lot.
Crush. Start 2. Osborne, Debo, Devonta Smith, Brees.
This is easy for me. I'll let you go first. I want to hear who you would say.
Just say what you really want to say, Dave. You want to hear?
No,
my
I want to hear you.
All right.
Yeah, I want to hear your dumb opinion.
I would start Brees, and I would start Devontae Smith.
Yeah, that was easy.
That was easy for me too. Only because Debo, I'm totally off Debo. I've been off Debo.
I
for a
hate
while.
Debo. He'll get you no catches, or he'll get you like 30 points. I don't like that. I hate that. I hate that.
And we've seen
we
it
said
so
that
many,
before the season.
Yeah, we did see it before the season. And I do want to say this about KJ Osborne. We've seen it so many times this year where someone goes down and next man up isn't just next man up, where Joshua Kelly didn't perform or Joshua Palmer didn't perform, or these guys, just because they're next man up doesn't mean they're going to do exactly what JJ did or even half of what JJ did.
But it's not next man up. KJ's been starting every week. Like that's Addison's the next man up. To be honest, like he's the one that's going to get the majority of those lost targets. Nothing's going to change with him. So,
his 20 team league or 20 whatever, he's 3-2, so that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
I mean, that's your setup for success. All right, let's
I like the team going forward.
All right, we're gonna answer Josh Wingate's question, because he, I just beat his ass down in fantasy in real life. So, Alan, that's not a question. Oh, I guess you.
First of all, don't ever waste my time with Jameson Williams and Kendrick Bourne. Don't add that to my. I don't have time for you, Josh. I'm sorry. Give me the real question, which is Allen, Waddle, or Moore. That's what I need to know.
Why is he throwing in Jameson Williams and Kendrick Bourne?
Why did he just waste our time? That's what I need to. That's what I want to really know.
Why are they on your team? I go Keenan Allen, and I go
Keenan Allen for sure. Probably. I don't know how you bench Waddle, but he hasn't been good.
Hold on. I'm gonna say I changed my mind because Achane going down. I haven't said this publicly yet. It's very good for Waddle. It sucks for us. It sucks for fantasy. It sucks for everyone. But I believe Waddle is the extension of the run.
But how do you bench more against the Vikings?
I know that's difficult too, but I'm still going to go Waddle on Keenan Allen because DJ Moore is not a guarantee that they're going to throw the ball. I
agree. And honestly, the thing is, the Vikings defense hasn't been terrible. If you look at it, it's crazy to say, but it hasn't been. Like, they've played decent. So I don't know.
Thank you, Pamela.
I'm probably starting Waddle, and I'd try to get what's his face in my flex though. You don't have a better flex you can throw in there?
I mean, I would try to get DJ Moore in a flex if you can. I really would. But then again, he had one game of like 50 points. And other than that, he's 10 points because that offense, like, people got to remember.
Oh, like the week before he did pretty good, I thought.
But they played Denver and they played Washington, the possibly two worst defenses of all time.
You ain't gonna tell me. Well, the Vikings aren't much better. I mean, I'm not saying. I just said they're better, but not much. So I mean, you could easily have another blow up game. That's why I would try. You gotta find what league doesn't have a flex, and I don't know who your flex could be that's better than DJ Moore.
Raphael,
I should tell him to start. I should tell him to start Kendrick Bourne. Is what I should tell him.
Yes, Kendrick Bourne.
You want to add that? You want to add that to the list?
Bourne and Jameson Williams. That's what you do. Free leagues are everywhere, Raphael, man. Just go on Twitter. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that love to play. It doesn't matter. Matter of fact, I know that Justin Bowerly, our producer and / co-host, who's usually here with us, he wants to start a league at week 8. He wants to start a brand new league. Yeah, he wants to start a brand new league.
Let's start a guillotine league. People do that mid-season. I'm in. That's one thing I'm annoyed that we never started, that we didn't get, because I love those leagues. Those are fun. Anyways, what's up, Raphael? We'll get you in a league somewhere. No, I'm not doing. I don't have time.
I don't have time either. I don't have time either.
Yes, you do. You're a home. You're an office bitch. So yeah, you.
Wow, Dave, we are a family-friendly show.
You just said fuck like 5 minutes ago.
We are a very family-friendly show. We have my kids watching it. Sometimes Violet even says, "Hey, Josh. Hey, Dad. I saw you on YouTube. You're a celebrity." I'm like, "No, I'm just like."
No, I'm the celebrity. He's just my right hand man.
Oh man, well, we're gonna get out of here. I hope you guys all win your fantasy matchups this week. Pamela, Raphael,
what's up?
Josh. I missed my 23232 guy, but he liked all my stuff on Twitter. But he's on Twitter, and if you want to follow me on Twitter, go ahead and do that at Josh Kimmel OUS, at Dave Campbell. He's never on because he doesn't have time.
Viking
anymore.
Dave 18, get it right.
Get it right. Guys, we're out of here. I'll see you guys next week, man. This is ridiculous. Justin, come back. We miss you.
We don't need Justin. It's better without him.
Be sure to like and subscribe wherever you watch.
I love Justin. I'm just kidding.
Follow on X and Instagram at OUSFFPOD. We'll be back next week for more.